And welcome back once again, everybody. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Beachwood backpack by HENNWOOD Leather Company of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The artisan who owns HENNWOOD Leather is Ryan Henney. He's a super nice guy, and you can communicate directly with him on his Instagram page, and the link is below. Now, Ryan makes a variety of satchels, backpacks, leather totes, and small leather goods. And he really knows leather, and he's an expert at sourcing and selecting hides for their various characteristics and beauty, and this bag is no exception. So let's take a deep dive into the Beachwood backpack. First of all, the Beachwood is entirely hand cut and hand stitched using the saddle stitch, so super durable, strong stitching. And Ryan is using Ritza Tiger thread on this bag. So Ritza Tiger thread is a flat braided poly cord that's known for its strength and long-lasting durability. So let's go over the dimensions of the Beachwood. It is 17 inches tall, it's 14 inches wide, and it has a 5-inch gusset. So right around 1,190 cubic inches in the main compartment, and it weighs about 6 pounds. So the Beachwood with these dimensions really makes quite an impression. It's made from full-grain vegetable tanned hides that Ryan sources from both the Horween Tannery in Chicago and Wickett and Craig in Pennsylvania. And this is some beautiful veg-tanned leather. Ryan really prides himself in selecting the most interesting and beautiful parts of the hide to showcase in his pieces. You see these beautiful character lines here and here? This is from the shoulder section of the hide up near the neck of the steer, and I love this stuff. The character lines are always different and unique to each animal, so when you have something that's made from this part of the hide, you have a one-of-a-kind piece. There isn't a lot of this stuff on the hide. In fact, they're usually seen as blemishes or undesirable parts of the hide by many makers, but I think this is the most interesting and beautiful part of the hide. Not all tanneries sell hides with these character lines. They'll often disguise them. They'll sand them, they'll paint them, or they'll press a texture into the leather to hide it, or they'll just cut it out of the hide and sell it that way. So I think it's really neat when an artisan chooses to feature this part of the hide when they design and lay out their projects. So let's take a closer look at the leathers used on the Beachwood. The storm flap, the rain guards, and the utility pouch are made from Horween Dublin. The storm flap is 2 pieces of leather that are laminated together with the flesh sides facing in on themselves, making the flap a 10-ounce leather in thickness. The front and the back panels are made from Wickett and Craig's 8-ounce Latigo leather, and the gusset is made from 8-ounce English bridle leather. And they're all beautifully matched. When Ryan designs his bags, he chooses these leathers for their inherent strength characteristics as well as their beauty. The Horween Dublin used on this bag is cut again from the neck section of the hide, while the body and the gusset are cut from the bends section of the hide, which is on the back of the animal and considered the strongest part of the hide. So let's go over the exterior features of the Beachwood, and then we'll take a closer look at the inside. Okay, so let's look at the exterior features. Turn the bag around here. The 2 shoulder straps are adjustable, and they've got about 7 inches of adjustability in each strap by means of these Conway buckles. So anyone, big or small, short or tall, can find a proper length to carry the bag. The strap itself is made from a type of leather called horsebutt, and it comes from the section of the hide just adjacent to the section that makes shell cordovan. And before the cordovan and horsebutt narrows are cut away from each other, they spend the first 45 days or so as one piece in the tanning vat. Then they're cut apart and they go through several more tanning operations to create the finished products. So tanning the horsebutt is a very slow process, but it makes a very dense, tight-grained leather that is perfect for straps and for handles. It's really the strongest leather that you can buy. You've got full-length shoulder pads that will conform to your shoulder from front to back. They're made from 3 pieces of leather. So you have these 2 pieces here that are stitched together, and then you have this piece with the flesh side facing out to better grip your shoulder. And just behind this piece, you have some really nice thick padding for all-day comfort. The straps are connected to the bag using these brushed stainless D-rings and copper rivets. And the D-rings are connected to the bag with these thick leather straps here that go from the outside through a punch slit and end up sandwiched between these two pieces of leather. These strips are stitched and riveted to the bag using hand-peened copper rivets that are then domed over for comfort and symmetry. The grab handle is made from horsebutt as well, and that's covered with the chestnut Dublin. And again, we have two brushed stainless square loops that are stitched and riveted to the bag. So the closure straps are the English bridle leather, and they start here in the back. They're riveted on. The tails run through this slit that's punched in the leather, and then it ends up sandwiched in between these two pieces of leather. They run over the top and underneath these two keepers, and this one has the HENNWOOD name subtly embossed in it. And then there are two ways to get in. You can use these nice brushed stainless buckles, or you can use the more convenient heavy-duty tuck locks. And these tuck locks are solid cast pieces. They're not hollow and punched out, okay? So those are gonna last you forever. I use these tuck locks on some of my projects, and I really love them. We've got a 5-inch wide English bridle gusset that is made with just one piece of leather for strength and durability. Ryan could have chosen to make the gusset from 2 or 3 pieces that are stitched together to save money, but he doesn't really skimp on any part of the production in making these beautiful backpacks. Finally, we have this utility pouch that is bench made, and then it's securely stitched to the front panel, leaving this really handy hidden pocket back here. On the little flap here, it's secured using this high quality German lock latch. So if you're traveling alone through Europe on a Euro-Rail pass, you probably don't want to put something too valuable in the pouch, maybe a first aid kit or a book or some snacks. So now let's take a look at the inside of the Beachwood. Okay, so let's open up the Beachwood. And the first thing we're going to notice is this beautiful piece of leather that Ryan has used for lining the flap. It's just so well done, and it gives the flap this really substantial feel and a quality look to it. I just love that. I'd love to have a whole satchel made that way, but it does add some extra weight to the bag and it makes the leather quite thick, but this flap is never going to fail on you. We have the 2 rain guards that are properly installed. They run from the outside of the bag, they're stitched on, they fold over, and that keeps the contents of your bag dry. It protects it from the rain or the snow, okay? And again, they're made from that beautiful Horween Dublin leather that's cut from the neck section of the hide, and that matches beautifully with the storm flap. The front edge of the bag is finished beautifully with this cover strip that is stitched on, and this is my favorite way to present an edge. It just looks beautiful, and it's the most durable edge you can make. The gusset is attached to the bag using a double seam, so on a mail bag or on a backpack, the shoulder straps are attached to the back panel of the bag, right? So all of the weight of the bag transfers up through the back panel, through the shoulder straps, and then up to the tops of your shoulders. So you want a really strong seam to hold the side gusset to the back panel of the bag. And that's why Ryan has used something called a double seam in the Beachwood. So let's see exactly how that works. Okay, so here we can see how that double seam actually works. So here we have the back panel of the bag, here we have the side gusset of the bag, and in between we have this V-shaped mechanism. It's 2 strips of leather that are stitched together, and the beauty of it is the back panel attaches to this first strip. There's 2 flat surfaces that are mated together and then stitched. Here we have 2 flat surfaces mated together and stitched, And here we have two flat surfaces mated together and stitched. That runs the full length of the gusset. If we didn't have this mechanism, the side gusset here would have to make a tight bend right here to be attached right here to the back panel. So where that tight bend is, with a lot of weight in the backpack, that's a real stress point. And eventually you might develop some cracks in that bend, and you might have a leather separation there after some time. So using this mechanism, we have a really strong and durable seam that you're not going to have to worry about. So now let's take a look at the inside of the bag. Now, because we have about 1,190 cubic inches of cargo room in here, we can actually go inside for a better look. Let's go. Okay, so let's take a look at the interior of the Beachwood. You'll notice we have a lot of cargo room in there. On the back, we have a laptop sleeve that is large enough to swallow up any size laptop you have. On one side, we have 3 generous pen loops. On the other side, we have an attached D-ring that you can hook your keys from, like I'm doing here. In the center, we have a pocket that's perfect for your wallet. And below that, we have a pocket that's perfect for your Kindle e-reader or an iPad mini. And if we go inside, you can see how the shoulder strap is attached to the bag. You can see there's a leather washer there that the copper rivet is passing through for added strength and durability. And on the center pocket, we've got the HENNWOOD logo very neatly embossed. So we've got a really beautiful interior finish out on the Beachwood. Beautifully done. Okay, so as we've seen, the Beachwood is quite a remarkable backpack. It's made from only the best leathers that are available. It's made from the best hardware that you can find. It's made using this very, very durable saddle stitching that's going to last you a long time. And the whole bag is built to last a lifetime. So if you're looking for a beautiful, versatile, and roomy leather backpack, I highly recommend the Beachwood backpack by HENNWOOD Leather Company. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.